Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to Formula Amateur, where today we'll be discussing the XPEL Grand Prix at Road America in IndyCar and IndyCar Next, which happened recently. So we'll start off with Indy Next and then go on to IndyCar. So let's get into it, shall we? I'd also like to thank everyone who's listening or watching for coping with me while I basically go on a massive race rundown. Time, as it seems like May and June were very busy months, and of course that had to be the time when I lost my voice, and now I'm very behind. So let's start off with Indy Next. And in the free practice session, in 24th position was Etta with 17 laps. In 23rd was Coulon with 15 laps. In 22nd was Monteiro with 18 laps. In 21st was Starty with 17 laps. In 20th was Rowe with the number 8 on 17 laps. In 19th was Aaron with 17 laps. In 18th was Missig with 17 laps. In 17th was Kareba with 13 laps. In 16th was Kaharchik with 17 laps. In 15th was D'Alba with 15 laps. In 14th was Kaminsky with 15. In 13th was Escotto with 15. In 12th was Beaton with 18. In 11th was Correa with 17. In 10th was Fittipaldi with 19. In 9th was D'Atulio with 15. In 8th was Garcia with 19. In 7th was Murray with 16. In 6th was Rowe with the number 99 with 15. In 5th was Nannini with 18. In 4th was Johnson with 16. In 3rd was Pearson with 18. In 2nd was Hughes with 19. And in 1st was Taylor with 16 laps. And now we'll go on to how they qualified for the first race. In 24th position was Etta, who stayed where he was. In 21st was Correba, who dropped 6 positions. In second was Monteiro, who stayed where he was. In 21st was Escotto, who dropped 8 positions. In the 20th was Rowe with the number 8, who stayed where he was. In 19th was D'Alba, who dropped 4 positions. In 18th was Kaminsky, who dropped 4 positions. In 17th was Starty, who gained 4 positions. In 16th is Misick, who gained 2 positions. In 15th is Aaron, who gained 4 positions. In 14th is Kohadchuk, who gained 2 positions. In 13th was Coulon, who gained 10 positions. In 12th was Rowe with the number 99, who dropped 6 positions. In 11th is Murray, who dropped 4 positions. In 10th is Garcia, who dropped 2 positions. In 9th is Correa, who gained 2 positions. In 8th is Fittipaldi, who gained 2 positions. In 7th is Taylor, who dropped 6 positions. In 6th is Beaton, who gained 6 positions. In 5th is Pearson, who dropped 2 positions. In 4th is Hughes, who dropped 2 positions. In 3rd is Nannini, who gained 2 positions. In 2nd is Johnson, who gained 2 positions. And in 1st is D'Atulio, who gained 8 positions. And how did the first race for Indy Next turn out? In 24th position was Misick, who dropped 8 positions. In 23rd was Correba, who stayed where he was. In 22nd was Fittipaldi, who dropped 14 positions. In 21st was Aaron, who dropped 6 positions. In 20th was Kaminsky, who dropped 2 positions. 18th was Monteiro. In 19th was Monteiro, who gained 3 positions. In 17th was D'Alba, who gained 1 position. In 17th was Starty, who stayed where he was. In 16th was Etta, who gained 8 positions. In 14th was Rowe with the number 8, who gained 5 positions. In 14th is Escotto, who gained 7 positions. In 13th was Murray, who dropped 2 positions. In 12th is Taylor, who dropped 5 positions. In 11th is Coulon, who gained 2 positions. In 10th is Garcia, stayed where he was. In 9th is Rowe with the number 99, who gained 3 positions. In 8th is Kohadchik, who gained 6 positions. In 7th is Correa, who gained 2 positions. In 6th is Johnson, who dropped 4 positions. In 5th is Nannini, who dropped 2 positions. In 4th is Beaton, who gained 2 positions. In 3rd is D'Atulio, who dropped 2 positions. In 2nd is Pearson, who gained 3 positions. And in 1st is Hughes, who gained 3 positions. But how did they qualify for the second race? And I'll let you know that in terms of qualifying, they only have 1 session, and the qualifying, they set 2 lap times, the 2 best lap times, one for the first round of racing and the other one for the second race as well. So that's how it works out. All sorts of mathematical things that I don't want to understand. So in terms of qualifying for the second race, in 24th was Etta, in 23rd was Correba, in 22nd was Monteiro, in 21st was Starty, in 20th was Rowe with the number 8, in 19th was Escotto, in 18th was Kaminsky, in 17th was De Alba, in 16th was Kohadchik, in 15th was Aaron, in 14th was Missig, in 13th was Coolan, in 12th was Garcia, in 11th was Murray, in 10th was Rowe with the number 99, in 9th is Correa, in 8th is Fittipaldi, in 7th is Pearson, in 6th is Hughes, in 5th is Nannini, in 4th is Beaton, in 3rd is Taylor, in 2nd is Johnson, and in 1st is De Tullio. And you may be wondering why someone like Kulhadjic, who is 2nd in the standings, qualified so low. And that was because during the qualifying session, he had a slight issue with his car, and he ran wide, but also at the same time somehow managed to block Kaminsky, and he was penalised for it. Otherwise, he would have qualified a lot higher. But in terms of the race, in 24th position was Monteiro, who dropped 2 positions. In 3rd was De Tullio, who dropped 22 positions. He actually finished 1st, but he dropped 22 positions because he was disqualified as a result of the fact that his team put on one of his teammates' tires on his car and did the same for his teammate. So he was disqualified, and everyone earned a place upwards. In a 22nd position was Pearson, who dropped 15. In 21st was Kaminsky, who dropped 3. In 20th was Hughes, who dropped 14. In 19th was Rowe with the number 8, who gained 1. In 18th was Garcia, who dropped 6. In 17th was Taylor, who dropped 14. In 16th was Missick, who dropped 2. In 15th was Murray, who dropped 4. In 14th was Correba, who gained 9. In 13th was Etta, who gained 11. In 12th was Starty, who gained 9. 10th was Escotto, who gained 8. In 10th was Aaron, who gained 5. 9th is Coolan, who gained 4. In 8th is De Alba, who gained 9. In 7th is Correa, who gained 2. In 6th is Beaton, who dropped 2. In 5th was Rowe with the number 99, who gained 5. In 4th is Fittipaldi, who gained 4. In 3rd is Johnson, who dropped 1. In 2nd is Kohadchik, who gained 14. And in 1st is Nannini, who gained 4. And where does that lead the IndyNext leaderboard? And that's 96 points behind. Let's talk about the leaderboard for IndyNext. In first position is Johnson on 350. In second position is Kohadchik with 344, so he's 6 points behind him. In third is Fittipaldi, who's a further 21 points back on 323. In fourth is Taylor on 289, a further 34 points behind. In fifth is Hughes on 269, that's a further 20 points behind. In sixth is Rowe with the number 99 on 264, that's another 5 points behind. Then it's De Tullio in seventh with 249, that's a further 15 points behind. Then in 8th is Correa on 224, that's 25 points behind. Then in 9th is Nannini on 209, that's 15 points behind. Then in 10th is Pearson on 207, that's 2 points behind. Then it's Beaton in 11th with 200, that's 7 points behind. In 12th is Murray on 198, that's a further 2 points behind. Then in 13th is Garcia on 182, that's a further 16 points behind. In 14th is Missig on 180, that's 2 points behind. Then in 14th is Coolan on 168, that's 12 points behind. In 16th is De Alba on 164, that's 4 points behind. And then in 17th is Aaron on 160, so that's another 4 points behind. 18th is Escotto on 142, that's 18 points behind. Then it's Starty in 19th on 140, that's 2 points behind. And then 19th is Then in 20th, it's Kaminsky on 128, that's a further 12 points behind. In 21st is Rowe with the number 8 on 125, that's 3 points behind. In 22nd is Correba on 116, that's 9 points behind. In 23rd is Etta on 115, that's 1 point behind. Then in 24th is Monteiro on 105, that's 10 points behind. And then in a reserve role, and so far only one race completed, is Sunder Amorfi on 9 points, that's 96 points behind his nearest rival Monteiro. And now let's move on to IndyCar. And now in IndyCar, the free practice session, the first free practice session, where in 25th position was Rob with 9 laps. In 24th was Grosjean with 15. In 23rd was VK with 17. In 22nd was Rahal with 17. In 21st was Hauger with 19. In 20th was Foster with 18. In 19th is McLaughlin with 17. In 18th is Rossi with 21. In 17th was Power with 16. In 16th is Rasmussen with 20. In 15th is Kirkwood with 17. In 14th is Newgarden with 18. In 13th is Lundgaard with 16. In 12th is Malukas with 19. 11th is Simpson with 16. In 10th is Ferrucci with 17. In 9th is Ericsson with 16. In 8th is Schumacher with 18. In 7th is Dixon with 16. In 2nd is Collette with 20. In 5th is Siegel with 21. In 4th is Award with 15. In 3rd is Palou with 11. 12. In 2nd is Rosenquist with 15. And in 1st is Armstrong with 15. In free practice 2, in 25th position is Foster, who did 7 laps and dropped 5 positions. In 24th is Lundgaard with 15 laps, dropping 11. In 23rd is Rob with 16 laps, gaining 2. In 22nd is Rasmussen with 15 laps, dropping 6. In 21st is Kirkwood with 17 laps, dropping 6. In 20th is Rosenquist with 13 laps, dropping 18. In 19th is VK with 15 laps, gaining 4. In 18th is Rahal with 16, gaining 4. In 17th is Dixon with 13, dropping 10. In 16th is Grosjean with 14, gaining 8. In 15th is Schumacher with 13, dropping 7. In 14th is Hauger with 15, gaining 7. In 13th is Newgarden with 10, gaining 1. In 12th is Ericsson with 17, dropping 3. In 11th is Rossi with 14, gaining 7. In 10th is Ferrucci with 13, staying where he was. In 9th is Simpson with 13, gaining 2. In 8th is Power with 13, gaining 9. In 7th is Siegel with 13, dropping 2. In 6th is Palou with 13, dropping 3. In 5th is Collette with 16, gaining 1. In 4th is Malukas with 12, gaining 8. In 3rd is McLaughlin with 12, gaining 16. In 2nd is Armstrong with 11, dropping 1. And in 1st is Award with 10 laps, gaining 3 positions. And how did they qualify for that race? In 25th position was Rob, dropping 2 positions. In 24th is Foster, gaining 1 position. In 23rd is Schumacher, dropping 8. In 22nd is VK, dropping 3. And then in 21st is Rossi, dropping 10. In 20th is Rahal, dropping 2. In 19th is Simpson, dropping 10. In 18th is Kirkwood, gaining 3. In 17th is Hauger, dropping 3. In 16th is Rasmussen, gaining 6. In 15th is Newgarden, dropping 2. In 14th is Grosjean, gaining 2. In 17th is Lundgaard, gaining 11. In 12th is Dixon, gaining 5. In 11th is Power, dropping 3. In 10th is Award, dropping 9. In 9th is Collette, dropping 4. In 8th is Siegel, dropping 1. In 7th is Ferrucci, gaining 3. In 6th is McLaughlin, dropping 3. In 5th is Ericsson, gaining 7. In 4th is Rosenquist with 16. In 3rd is Armstrong, dropping 1. In 2nd is Malukas with 2, gaining 2. And in 1st is Palou, gaining 5. And then in terms of the race, in 25th position was Rasmussen, dropping 9. He had a mechanical error and could not continue. In 24th, very much near the end of the race, he was going strong. He would have finished first. Was Armstrong, dropping 21 positions due to a mechanical error. In 23rd position was Rahal, dropping 3 positions. He did not finish the race due to contact. In 22nd position was Newgarden, dropping 7. In first position was Siegel, dropping 13. In 20th was Hauger, dropping 2. In 19th was Rob, gaining 6. In 18th was VK, gaining 4. In 17th was Schumacher, gaining 6. In 16th was Collette, dropping 7. In 15th was Grosjean, dropping 1. In 14th was Foster, gaining 10. In 13th was Ericsson, dropping 8. In 12th was Award, dropping 2. In 11th was Dixon, gaining 1. In 10th is Kirkwood, gaining 8. In 9th is Ferrucci, dropping 2. In 8th is Rosenquist, dropping 4. In 7th is McLaughlin, dropping 1. In 6th is Rossi, gaining 15. 5th is Palou dropping 4. In 4th is Simpson gaining 15. In 3rd is Power gaining 8. In 3rd is Malukas, who stayed where he was. In 1st is Lundgaard with 13, where he qualified, but he actually, right at the start of the race, dropped all the way to the back. But overall, in terms of qualifying, gaining 13 positions. And how does it look like for the championship? In first position, it is once again Palou with 374 points. In second is Malukas, a further 60 points behind on 314. In third is Kirkwood with 313, that's 1 point behind Malukas. In fourth is Lundgaard on 297, 16 points behind Kirkwood. In fifth is Award on 257, a further 40 points behind. On sixth is Rosenquist on 248, further 9 points behind, and McLaughlin joining him with 248 in 7th. In 8th position is Newgarden with 247, with a difference of 1 point to McLaughlin. In 9th is Ericsson with 213, 34 points behind Newgarden. In 10th is Dixon with 211, 2 points behind Ericsson. In 11th is Armstrong with 203, 8 points behind Dixon. In 12th is Rahal with 203 points behind Armstrong. In 13th is VK with 187, 13 points behind Rahal. In 14th is Power with 180.7 points behind VK. In 15th is Rossi on 180, the same as Power. In 16th position, Simpson on 179, that's 1 point behind Rossi and Power. In 17th is Ferrucci on 168, 11 points behind Simpson. In 18th is Foster with 147, 21 points behind Ferrucci. In 19th is Hauger on 143, 4 points behind Foster. In 20th is Grosjean with 132, 11 points behind Hauger. In 21st is Seagull on 125, 7 points behind Grosjean. In 22nd is Rasmussen on 117, 8 points behind Seagull. In 23rd is Colette with 113, 4 points behind Rasmussen. In 24th is Schumacher on 102, that's 11 points behind Colette. And in 25th is Rob on 100, 2 points behind Schumacher. Thank you so much for listening to another episode, or watching to another episode of Formula Amateur. I hope you've enjoyed. Please check out my lovely colleagues on the Be The Change Media Network. Please check out BeTheChangeMediaNetwork.com. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll hope to see you in the next one. Goodbye.